Okay, so today we're going to dive into something pretty interesting, something I know a lot of people have been thinking about lately. How do we make AI content, you know, less robotic?
Yeah. Less like, a robot wrote it. Yep.
Exactly.
Well,
And we've got a snippet from TextCall that really digs into this whole idea of humanizing AI.
humanizing AI. Yeah, that's the ticket.
And it's got me thinking, like, if you were the one staring at this AI generated text,
Yeah.
how would you make it, really sing?
It really is a challenge trying to make, artificial intelligence, trying to make that connect with a real person. Like, how do you teach a computer to like wink or share a smile?
Right? And they keep saying conversational tone, but what's that actually mean? Like, does the AI need to start telling jokes or something?
I don't know about jokes, but think about it this way. When you're talking to a friend, explaining something, you probably use pretty simple language, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Maybe throw in a brood or a right here and there just to keep them with you.
Keep them engaged.
Exactly. So, like, instead of the AI saying, this report presents an analysis of current market trends, it could say something like, let's take a look at what's happening in the market right now.
Yeah, it's less formal,
It's
right?
a small change, but it makes a big difference in how people take in the information.
I get that, making it more relatable. But this source also talks about adding empathy, and I'm not sure I get that. Can AI really empathize?
Yeah, that's a good question. It really gets at what makes us, human.
Yeah.
AI might not feel emotions the way we do,
Right.
but it can be programmed to recognize and like reflect the emotions of whoever it's talking to. Think about those targeted ads you see online.
Oh yeah, those are everywhere.
They're all based on data about you, your interests, your, anxieties, all that. AI content can use the same data to create that feeling of understanding.
Wow. So it's not really feeling empathy, but it's more like using data to kind of mirror what the person's feeling.
That's the idea.
That's really interesting. Do you have an example of what that would look like in the content?
Sure, sure. Let's say you're writing an article about family travel tips. All
Okay.
right. Instead of just listing, destinations and hotels and stuff, the AI could say something like, we know traveling with kids can be stressful.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
So here are some tips to make your trip a breeze. By acknowledging that stress, the AI connects with the reader right away.
Yeah, for sure. Makes you feel like they get it. Now, the source also mentions storytelling, which makes sense, right? Seems like a good way to add that human touch.
For sure.
But what about, what if the AI starts making things up? Wouldn't that make the content less accurate?
Not necessarily. Stories don't have to be fake. They can be real life examples like case studies,
Oh, okay.
or even historical anecdotes that make a point. Like, imagine you're writing about financial planning instead of just talking about, compound interest.
Right, which is a kind of a boring topic.
Exactly. The AI could tell a story about a young person who started investing early and then saw their savings grow like crazy.
Mhm.
Makes the whole idea much more relatable.
Way more interesting. It's like show, don't tell, right?
Exactly.
But on that note, the source talks about simplifying complex ideas,
Right.
which seems super important. It's especially with, anything technical.
Absolutely.
So how can AI writers do that without like dumbing things down?
That's the challenge, right? Finding that balance. The key is to avoid all that jargon, those technical terms that'll just, turn people off.
Right, make it understandable.
Remember those analogies we talked about earlier?
Yeah, I like those.
Those are great for explaining, complex stuff. Like if you're trying to explain how a neural network learns, you could compare it to how a kid learns language, through repetition and all that.
Yeah, see what you mean. Makes it seem less intimidating. Now, there's one last thing in the source I wanted to hit. Asking questions. In the AI generated stuff, doesn't that seem kind of uh, counterintuitive? I mean, how can you have a back and forth with a machine?
It's not really about a literal back and forth. It's more about creating that feeling of engagement.
Okay,
Like sprinkle some rhetorical questions in there, make the reader feel like they're part of the thought process.
I see.
So instead of just saying climate change is a serious threat, you could ask, what kind of world do we want to leave for our kids?
That's good. Makes you think. So, to sum up what we've learned here, conversational tone, empathy, storytelling, and simplification. That's what makes AI content feel more human.
That's it. And if we can really nail these things, who knows what'll happen with AI content? It's changing so fast, it's pretty exciting.
Yeah, for sure. But here's something to think about. What if AI gets so good at humanizing its content that we can't even tell the difference between human and machine writing?
Hmm, that's a good question.
It's something to think about.
Yeah.
Until next time, happy diving.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.